Hey there guys, Demo73 here, bringing you some spoiler coverage for the week. We are looking at new Red and Darkness support cards, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. So first up we have Tiger Lily, the tribal princess. She's another fairy tale. She's a 2-drop 5/4, and she says if this card would deal damage to a J/Resonator, it deals double that much. We've seen this kind of effect before. Beowulf from set 1 had this, but it was if he dealt damage at all, and I didn't really like that because of going for damage for face and stuff like that. But this I really like because it specifically interacts with other creatures and J rulers, creating situations where you can't just like cheat through like 2,000 plus damage to your opponent's face just because they don't block. So I really like this concept, and as a card I think she doesn't have swiftness or anything else, so she feels kind of pretty balanced, being able to deal with bigger stuff while taking care of herself, or while sacrificing herself for it potentially. So overall pretty good. Then we have Tiger Charge, her kind of support card. It is a red 1-drop chant with quick cast, and it says target resonator gains 400 attack and first strike. So overall this is a pretty solid card. It lets you save something if it's going into battle, to be able to flash in there and kill the other guy before they take damage. But in the hands of Tiger Lily, this essentially means that she can deal with stuff that's up to 1800 defense, and that is relevant. So I really like that. Definitely a good support card for red. Now we have Stalking Tiger in the Woods, 3-drop 8/6, going along with the typical stats that we're seeing for 3-drops of 8/8 and then modulating based on their effect, and he gets first strike. So that's pretty cool. I definitely think that this is a card that could see play at Worlds. Outside of that, all of these cards inherently have answers to them in the forms of like sniping and down the drain and stuff like that. So whether or not a 3-drop is good enough depends, but the nice thing is it's only 1 red, so you can kind of splash him into stuff, so that's pretty cool. Now we have the Ox King, who is a 6-drop 15/15 with target attack, so based right off precision target attack. So right off the bat, those are some pretty impressive stats, but they also make me less impressed because, again, a 1-drop can kill him. But it says whenever a resonator that was dealt damage by this card, this turn's put into a graveyard, you get 5 100/100 counters. So as he kills stuff, or stuff that he's hurt gets killed, he gets progressively stronger. So if your opponent's not careful and they don't have an answer to this guy can get up to being a 40/40 and just one-shot you. So definitely something to keep your eyes open, and definitely a reason why cards like Down the Drain are very important in sideboards. Next up we have Spirit of Fire, 3-drop 8/8. Again, pretty standard stats. And it says if a fire chant would deal damage, it deals that much plus 200. So that's pretty good. Being able to kind of pump up your burn spells a little bit is always impressive, and it's not easy to kill her outright, but it's also, it's an investment to be able to play her. So pretty balanced, I think. Now we have Fairy Tale Library Alexandria. So this is one of the more kind of important cards, I think, here. It is a 2-drop edition. When it enters your field, you choose a race, and resonators you control of the chosen race gain swiftness. So this has a lot of implications for things outside of Worlds. Even in Worlds, we don't have a lot of swiftness in play from what we've seen so far. So an addition that can grant swiftness is definitely relevant, especially when you consider like elves and the fact that they'll be able to generate all those tokens. So this is pretty interesting. It is important to note we do have instant speed addition hate, and we also have rulers like Zero, who just says your characters can't gain swiftness, so kind of mitigates this card entirely. So I would say this is definitely a card that gets sideboarded out pretty fast if you were playing it and you see a 0, or you jam it early and hope that they don't flip. So next up we have Princess of the Dragon Palace Orihime, getting into the Darkness cards, 7/8. Following the pattern there, if a resonator would be put into a graveyard from your opponent's field, you RFG it instead. That's relevant because we have a lot of things that do stuff when they hit grave. She just says no to all of those. And you can tap and bestow a card named the Black Treasure Box from your hand to target resonator. So what is the Black Treasure Box? It is a 1-drop edition that says at the beginning of your turn, destroy this card and a bestowed resonator. So you bestow it for 1 black, and tapping. So it's essentially just a 1-drop kind of kill. So what you can do is you can have Otohime out, moving into your end phase, you tap and bestow, or moving into their end phase, you tap and bestow the treasure box from your hand. Then you move into their turn, and it's dead. So it's kind of a 2-step instant speed, semi-instant speed removal that I think does see some relevancy in the Worlds format with limited removal, but we'll have to see what happens there. Now we have, lastly, Reshimataro, 2-drop 5/7. When this card enters your field, you destroy target damaged resonator. So if it's got damage, you can just kill it. So it's like a Demon Flame, essentially. And when this card is sent to the graveyard from your field, you get to search for black treasure box from your hand and put it, or from your deck and put it into your hand. So he's a tempo swing, he's got decent stats, and he's a searcher. This is pretty solid for Darkness, I think. I definitely think that these 3 cards combo well together. So you play him on turn 2. If he dies, you play her on turn 3. And suddenly you're still sitting on a big to do there. So feels pretty good overall. But let me know what you guys think in the comment sections down below. Go ahead and like and subscribe and share the video. And if you like what I'm doing, guys, please feel free to check out the Patreon and support me. So we can do more content like this and better content moving forward. But until next time, this is DMO73 signing off.